Hello, people. Act 2, the podcast, episode 80. We are back. How you say it?
80.
Episode 80.
80.
You got to say it with a little 80, like you Chinese a little bit.
No, it's Spanish.
Okay.
Like it's Sábado Gigante.
TV Telemundo.
Univision.
It's your boy, International Walk.
And it's your girl, Taj, the co-hostess with the mostest.
We are back for episode 80. Feeling great, feeling good. We hope y'all feeling great and good out there. If y'all want to feel even better, make us feel better, y'all can catch us on act2thepodcast.com. Y'all can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, TikTok, Breaker, Spotify, and Twitter.
I like blanked out for a minute. And I was doing one and you jumped.
You just lost it.
Yeah,
because
all
I ran
those,
them down.
all
but
of
you can
those.
catch us on all of those. So
Yeah, you ran
whatever
it
your
down.
feeling is, whatever app you got on your phone, wherever you like to catch your podcast, you can find our faces. All you got to do is search for us.
And you can share when you're there.
And
tell
most
a
of the
friend.
time, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Bam. How are you? Episode 80.
I am feeling amazing.
Get that word off there. They're not paying us no money.
I'm feeling amazing.
Okay.
Mentally, I'm a 9.
Anina?
Yeah,
No
I'm
way
a
back.
9. Yeah.
Okay. Explain. Elaborate.
I just have been focusing on only allowing positive things to be within my personal space.
Mm-hmm.
They say you put your arms out, anything around you.
Your inner matrix.
My inner matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say, I block out all negativity. I'm human. So some negative things try to, and I feel my feels and then I get past them. I don't dwell on them. So that is helping me to, feel better. And it just, I'm just extremely grateful for life, for love, for the people who I have in my life. And I'm grateful. So I feel a 9. I feel good.
Fucking awesome.
Muy bien.
Muy bien. Está bien. Finances.
My finances are a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
Elaborate on that too.
I've been put on a spending.
It's okay to say you got chastised.
No, you know what? I'm not gonna front. I feel my finances are a 9. So my husband did. I don't know how y'all handle y'all finances out there, and I don't need to know. That's y'all business. Y'all don't need to know how we handle our finances, but we do well at managing them. And my husband asked me to cut back a little bit on the spending, but I have to say, shout out to my girl Nanette, and Crystal, because Crystal had already did like this no July spending thing, and I saw it and just kept scrolling because I wasn't
in that mode.
Yeah, on that vibe. And then Nanette had kind of mentioned that she was trying to do the same thing. And I did say to her, I'm happy that y'all aren't friends on Facebook because I didn't want you to get any wind of this. However, I did agree. I cannot, their thing was no spending on things that are non-essential. Like, so no buying food out the house and all that. That's not my plan. Because dates are important to us, and y'all might say, "Oh, well, you can have in-house dates and all that." We can, and I will tell you this: I am a cheap date.
We sit on our deck. We have dates.
I am a cheap date. Our first date was McDonald's. He bought me a number 2, and here we are, 21 years later. So I am fine with a cheap date, but I am also fine with a not so cheap date. So I don't need to always.
She bougie.
I don't need to always have expensive dinners, but I will say this. Friday and Saturday, I don't cook. Unless there's like, my husband's not feeling well or something, I can be accommodating. But for the most part, I don't cook. My husband, he can cook. So we could have dates when he cooks. But 1, he's probably not going to want to. And 2, if he does, he's going to request my assistance, which means I'm going to end up cooking. So, yeah.
No, I make money. I just buy the food.
That's not the plan for me to say no spending. However, what I did agree to, for the month of August, I'm not going to buy myself any clothes, shoes, or bags.
That's only twice. But it's a start. I appreciate it. It's a start. But that's only twice. So,
Well, I mean, I'm just that. Jeez.
I just said it's a start. I
Okay,
applaud you. But I'm just saying,
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it. I should have never mentioned it. Let's rewind that. But no, all in all, my finances are 9. I respect your leadership, your headship in our family. You know, you manage our finances. I do, for the most part, what I want with my money. You know, besides contributing to the household in whatever ways. But you know, you asked me to just cut back a little, and yeah. But other than my finances are good.
Work.
I don't need anything. That's the best part.
I know you don't. So work.
Work is a need. You know,
Okay.
I've been contributing in a lot of areas, and think you know, just contemplating what's next for me, and yeah, work is a need.
Okay. Physicality.
Physically, I'm gonna say I'm a 7, and again, it's my fault. I don't feel bad, but I could feel better, and I just need to be more disciplined in moving, and sometimes that can just be difficult.
So okay, so if it's difficult, what would it take right now if you had to be put on the spot? What's it going to take for you to sharpen up the discipline?
I don't know. If I knew, I would do it.
That's nice.
Like, I mean, I don't know what's good. I mean, because in the morning, I can't even say I don't have the time and all that. My schedule, I absolutely do. What I will say is this: last night we did a great job because we have been extremely tired. So getting up early to go walking and stuff, I just wasn't feeling it. But I could have done that this morning. So if I continue to make it a pattern of going bed a little earlier, that way I have sufficient sleep and it doesn't hurt as bad to get up. Going in the middle of the day, I can sometimes squeeze it in, sometimes
You
not.
can't be out there in that fucking heat.
But I know that I can always do it in the morning. So that's what my focus needs to be. Not trying to squeeze it in the middle of the day, because my day can fluctuate. Not trying to say, oh, I'm going to do it after work, because I'm not going to feel like it. So that is what I need to do. Create a routine where I'm going to bed early, getting enough rest, so getting up in the morning feels good. And don't I say 21 days you create a habit?
30. I don't know where
30.
you get 21 from, but they say doing anything for 30 days is a habit.
I thought it was 21, but 30.
I'm sure if you got to 21, it's not like I need 7 more. So it's plausible.
I just need to be consistent. I need some accountability partners. Crystal did assist me one day, but I need accountability partners, but I also need to hold myself accountable and have that discipline and just
But it's also a time frame thing, because I can be accountable and come home and say, babe, come on. Or when I'm a half hour from home, get dressed, we're going for a walk. You'll be like, I can't. I got a call.
Yeah, that's why. That's
or,
why I said middle of the day is not. I can't look at that time frame because I don't know what my day. Now, you know, sometimes you come home. You know, we got an hour to have a lunch break. You know, but sometimes it's like, hey babe, how you doing? Welcome home. I got to get back to it. So I can't look at the middle of the day. My time frame is like 6:30 to 8:30. That's the window I need to look at. And that's plenty of time, because I don't even want to say, oh, I'm going to do this crazy workout. I just want to walk for a minimum of 30 minutes, 4 days a week. That's my goal.
It's obtainable.
Yeah. So we'll get there, but that's where I am. How are you?
I'm good. Mentally, I would say I'm about an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, about an 8 mentally.
Elaborate.
Just work a little bit. Like, I feel like the same thing with work, and that leads into work because it's going to be the same thing. Like, what's next? Like, because I don't want to keep getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and doing and I like what I do. I mean, I manage a crew and I don't really work that much, but there's still days I do. And, you know, I've been doing this for 20 years and I just, like, what's next? Like, I want to maybe run bigger jobs, multiple jobs, and not, like, that's just it. Just go job to job and that's it. I don't put tools on no more. So that's kind of what the position, a hybrid position, because I don't want to project manage, where I don't want to be in an office all day. Don't want to be on a computer all day answering emails and phone calls and coordinating shit. Like, that's not my shtick. I like to be in the field. I like to be amongst the guys. So somewhere I have to create and pitch a position that would, you know, suit me.
It makes me happy to hear you say that, because I know at some point, you know, prior to Act 2, you really weren't able to fully step into that realm just because you had to, keep yourself protected. I'm looking forward to you taking that leap, stepping out on faith, and really stepping into your full potential, because I know you're already amazing, and I know that you have so much more to offer. You've proven that you can build anything from, a screw to 74 floors. Like, I know you can do it all, and I'm just ready for you to step into that next phase of what's in store for you.
Yeah, somewhere between the office side and still the field side. Specialty shit I would love to do, because that is intriguing. That piques my interest.
Oh, with some days you have to like wear like a button down and like
some days, but then some days if there's specialty shit to build, then I want to be a part of that, or be a part of the laying out of it, and then have my guys do it. But I don't necessarily want to be on a job site at 5 a.m. no more.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to go to work at like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
I love a blue collar man that does the hard work, but seeing you live that white collar life some days.
Well,
I'm
it's
a
hybrid. I'm not talking
No,
9 to 5.
I
Like, I ain't trying to do that. Like, I just don't like getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You want to bring more of the administrative stuff to the field.
Yeah, I don't want to be on a job site at 5 a.m. no more.
Yeah.
So that's just it. Finances, they're about at 8. We got some stuff coming up that we're gonna be spending some money on. So just got to belt tighten a little bit. So finances is at 8. Work, same thing. I'm thinking, same thing I'm feeling. Physicality, I feel good. Nothing hurts. I feel like you. I want to. But see, what's stopping me from doing stuff is I don't have my friend with me. And it's like, I don't want to be like coming home on this regimen where I go out every day because I got 4 hours to kill and you sitting here. Like, it's going to look weird that I'm getting fit.
But I can do mine in the morning.
But you don't. And it's like,
but
you need a partner. I want a partner. Like, we're friends and we, like, supposed to be doing it together. But
and then by the time I get off at 5, like, you done already settled in and
right.
You ready.
And when I tell myself all day I'm going for a bike ride, I'm going for a bike ride. By the time I get home and pull in the driveway, I'm like, she can't go, so I don't want to go.
Aww.
And it's like, I don't want to just go out and be going for. I mean, not that you wouldn't mind, and I know it's not a big deal. I've done it before, but just go out and be doing something that we supposed to be doing together, and it's like, damn, I'm here in the office working, and he out there working out, trying to feel good.
Yeah, we gotta work it out. We gotta find our way. But I'll save that for my wow.
Wows and woes.
My wow. So speaking of bikes and stuff, we just the weekend was very therapeutic for me, and not that anything was wrong per se. I might have been in my feels a little bit, just about life stuff, but it was just very therapeutic. No, let me not lie. I was in my feels about some life stuff, and I think I was probably holding it in, again, trying to maintain that positivity and not allowing myself to feel my feels and trying to just suppress it for the sake of being happy. As you know, that doesn't work. So Saturday, the weekend was just really therapeutic. We went on a bike ride, and this is only our second time, unfortunately, together. He's going more than me. But it just felt so good to be out and doing something. Well, it was our second bike ride, but it was the first time we went like through the woods and on the trail. So like doing something for the first time. I truly believe in a previous life, I was like this outdoorsy, adventurous hiker, mountain climbing.
Are you just saying survivalist?
Scuba dive. No, I wasn't living out there, but I was enjoying those activities with he was my husband in another lifetime too. Jumping off cliffs, scuba diving, just having cause I love that kind of stuff. And being a city girl, I don't know where it comes from, but I just love it and enjoy it. And that was just really, really a good time for me. What I want to do is and I say this, and I hope I don't have to eat my words, is find other trails that we can because we kind of know our park now, But
we also in where we live at, there's animals. So the deeper you go, the more rural you go. Bears, cats. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And you are afraid of vermin. So anything bigger than vermin, you might get off the bike and run.
I sure will.
Lead a bike. It's like, babe, you be faster on wheels, not your feet.
I sure will. But yeah, so that was just my wow for me. Just doing something for the first time with my best friend, having a great time, and just allowing life to life, and it felt good at the end. Yeah.
Woes?
I'm gonna say I don't. I can't think of anything, and I don't want to manufacture anything negative.
It's
Like,
okay to say you had nothing bad happen this week.
Yeah, nothing bad.
It's just a weekly check-in.
And I don't always look at a whoa as like a bad thing, but sometimes it's really something that makes you say whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any woes to acknowledge, so I'm grateful for that.
That's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing.
What about you?
Wows is I got some vacation coming, and we about to start looking and putting down, a plan for our vacation, and I'm just excited. I need it. That's a part of this whole feeling about work and getting up at 3:00. Like, I just need a break, and looking forward to it.
Let me ask y'all something before he goes into his well. How do y'all plan for vacation? Because my husband is such a last minute planner. Now, I know there are some people that plan for vacation 6 months out, and I'm not necessarily expecting that. But at this point, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to pack my suitcase, and I am going to wake up in the morning and sit there with my hands folded and just ride to the airport and get on whatever plane he tells me to. Because he will wait to the last minute to plan something. And I've learned to not even stress myself about it, just to be prepared for wherever we go.
But just for context, it's about 30 days, give or take, before our vacation. And as a man, when she gets up that morning to pack her bag and go to the airport, I'm going to have a beautiful place to take her, and she's going to have nothing to worry about. So
30 days, y'all. Who plans an international trip in 30 days? He says that as if it's normal.
She planned a wedding in 6 weeks.
Well,
who does that?
Oh. And I did a great job at it too.
Okay, your ass still flying somewhere. What the fuck?
Touche. All right, what's your woe?
My woe is my fellas. My man Eddie and his mom. She's still sick. She getting a little bit better, and that's good. But then my man Danny got some stuff with his son, and I don't want to get too deep into that. But just I hope everybody feels better. Again, when shit happens at home with the family, it affects you at work. It affects your work. It affects your people you talk to at work. And, these are jovial guys. And to see shit wrong with them like that, it's like, damn, I just hope everything is okay with them.
That's one. The other day I was on a leadership call, and people were asking about, asking about managing performance and all that. And somebody that I work with that's typically very stoic, I think is the right word. Just kind of like the dry eyes guy and like that's how they work. And this person, and talks about them being questioned about managing performance and how are they driving for improvement. They said something that like kind of took me aback, because while I agree, it was interesting to hear this person speak from a human element to allude to them caring about people. And they mentioned like, it's one thing to drive improvement and want people to perform well, but we also have to help people manage their personal lives. Like, people got stuff going on. Mm-hmm. It is stuff going on in this world.
There's a fine line between that, because everybody got problems.
Yeah.
So it's like when you say we gotta help people, it's like some people are like, yo, I need help.
No, I understand that, but it was good to hear somebody from a leadership perspective take a step back and say, yeah, we understand this, and we understand people have to do this, and we understand people have to perform this way, and people have to show up for work, but life happens. Mm-hmm. Things happen, and there's so much going on. You got some people that's working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet, because gas prices are ridiculous. Everything else in the world, food is ridiculous, and they got to do what they got to do. So sometimes, guess what? They just might be late showing up to this job just a few moments and not making excuses if it's a repeated pattern, but they might be late to this job because, hell, they might have been coming from another job. Mm-hmm. Or they might have worked overnight, got home, went to sleep for 2 hours and had to hurry up to jump. So it was just one of them things where, like you mentioned, and I know, you want your guys to do their work, but I also know that you care about them, because stuff like that can weigh on you and can possibly impact their performance. So shout out to them. Prayers for their family. yeah, that going through difficult times, it's hard.
And as you get older, the empathy, like when you used to say, "Oh, I'm an empath," and I'm like, how the fuck can you just diagnose yourself for that? But it's like you just, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have had a feeling like I have now. But it's like it hurts me to see them hurt.
Yeah.
It hurts me to see them worried about shit when I'm so used to seeing them be jovial, laugh, joke, play, and all that stuff. And it's like, I get it. Like, something bigger than that is on your mind. So
Yeah.
it just hurts me to see them hurt like that, or in a, not knowing mode.
Right.
Especially Eddie with his
Right.
mom, like just, in limbo.
Yeah,
so
it's difficult.
Yeah, it is. So shouts out to my fellas. Let's get right to it. Loyalty or respect?
So,
and if you can remember some of the people who answered, I don't. So if you can remember, because I know you got your phone doing other stuff.
Well, we can look at you have the percentages and things?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
My phone is,
Yeah, I can grab that information. So for me, and, people have the option of saying this if they choose, but for me, I'm going to say it's both. But now, do I have to pick one?
Yes.
So if I have to pick one, I'm going to say respect.
We ain't got no shots here, so.
Yeah. If I have to pick one, I'm going to say respect.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, and even though I think one, guides the other, but I need you to respect me under all circumstances. Now, whether you're loyal to me is up to you, meaning, you may choose another side, but have respect for me. Don't disrespect me, basically.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, though, I feel like somebody can be loyal to you, but in them being loyal to you, then there is a level of respect. I don't feel like you can truly be loyal to someone without respect.
Okay. If that's your answer, that's your answer. Mine would be respect, because without respect, there's room for disrespect. So if respect is established, and that's the worst thing for a man, as a black man, disrespect isn't taken lightly. So if you're in my circle or close enough to be in my presence, then I just don't want to feel any disrespect, like any shadiness, any slide comments, any type of disrespect.
Right.
I'm gonna take it as that. I'm not gonna take it for nothing else but disrespect. Loyal, I don't have any like long-term friends in my life except for who I'm sitting to. So that's the kind of only person I look to for loyalty. And I don't have nobody involved in my day-to-day like that where I need you to be loyal to me.
Right.
So for me, the loyalty thing is like, okay, like you said, if you respect me, then the loyalty may come with it. It may not. But as long as you don't disrespect me, then we can coexist.
Right. And then sometimes people, it's like, what exactly are your expectations in terms of loyalty? Because let's just say, and I ain't going nowhere, I'm your co-host here, and it's like, babe, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
There's really some other things that I want to do. So I'm not going to be a part of the show any longer. So some people might feel like I'm not being loyal to you,
mm-hmm.
but I still respect you. It wouldn't be anything negative or anything disrespectful. And the respect is in me coming to you and having that conversation. So maybe I'm not loyal to this role that I'm playing, which isn't a negative thing because people can change their mind, but that respect has to always be there no matter what. So that's my opinion. I will say that we did get quite a number of votes. I appreciate everybody participation.
Appreciate all that. We'll put questions up. Appreciate all the engagement.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So there was 60% said respect, 40% loyalty.
Okay, so respect is the winner.
Yep.
Out of that.
So the next question.
We're not there yet.
Okay, I apologize.
Should a father have a say in an abortion?
Ooh.
What's your thoughts on that? It's because it's a woman's body, it's a woman's choice, and it seems like the dad is kind of lost in that decision-making thing, but it's still supposed to be supportive in that. Whether, say the dad, is religious and come up a certain way, and is the person he gets hooked up with not so much. Not saying she's an atheist, but not so much. And, he wants some say in whether his child should be aborted or not. And it seems like most of the time, it's like together. But when it comes to this decision, it's just me. And when I make it, be supportive, be there for me, take me, do all this stuff. Even though you don't agree with the decision, why is that?
So me, I think absolutely. And I think that it's even outside of what you said, moral beliefs and any of that. The dad could very well believe in abortions, but what if he really wants this baby?
Right.
What if, y'all are in a relationship and as a woman, you may feel like, okay, I'm not ready to have kids now. And what if he really does? And, he's determined to be a good father, to provide, to be a good mate. And he really is excited and wants this baby. And yeah, I understand it's the woman's body, but let's just be real, ladies. And y'all can want to fight me if you want. I ain't scared. Just like y'all say, it was a joke,
Who want that smoke?
No, it was a joke.
My baby.
But just like people say, oh, a man can't have a man can't have a baby without a woman. Like, we all come from a woman's womb. Absolutely, that's true. But guess what? Ain't no eggs getting fertilized without sperm. So we have to acknowledge, I think, that there should be equal say-so in the decision. Yeah, it's a woman's body, and I feel like if you're that adamant about not wanting to have a baby, then hey, do what you got to do. Condoms, birth control, abstinence, whatever it is. But to just say like, oh, this is my body, it's my decision, it's his sperm that put that baby in you. So I don't think, now let me just say this. Y'all know I don't believe in abortion, so let's just take that out the equation. But if we're going to go by this rule that abortions are allowed and a woman should be allowed, and, if she had a one-night stand and got pregnant and she's making a decision to have an abortion, I don't think it should be required, like, oh, you can't get an abortion until we identify this man and get his permission. No, I'm not saying that. But I do think if you're in a relationship, you're pregnant by someone that and you're communicating with, that it should be a conversation and not just a decision that a woman makes on her own.
The pushback would be, why not? Like, why shouldn't it be something as simple as you just have to get permission from the father? If it's possible, like this gotta be, and I know you're gonna say it's a loophole, like what if you don't know the father, but just for the sake of the conversation, if you got pregnant by somebody, you probably know who it is,
Maybe.
Most time. You would think, you want to think, but so why can't you just get a...
What if it's a situation where it's like, well, okay, this is what you can say. You can say anybody's the father. Guess what? Cousin, come down here with me to the clinic. I want to get an abortion. I know if I ask
So
James...
how about a paternity test?
But then from what I hear, that puts the baby in danger to do a paternity test that early because it's in your like they got to take out the fluid. I think, y'all, correct me if I think amniocentesis, like they take out some fluid to do like testing and stuff of genetic testing of the baby, but that can be dangerous. And I do know of people that have had...
But they do that anyway to test to see if the baby
but it's
has
not required.
Down syndrome and all that stuff.
But it's not...
They take the fluid out and do that to run all them tests.
It's not required. They don't have to do it.
I know they don't have to do it, but I'm saying they do that test anyway while the baby is cooking, for the sake of argument, so that they can tell you whether your baby gonna have defects and things like that.
But what I'm saying is that's optional. I don't think that should be required for a paternity test because it's known that can cause danger to the baby. So I'm not saying they should do anything that could potentially be dangerous to confirm paternity. But I do think it shouldn't even be a law of a requirement. I think as a woman, morally, you should want the father of the child to have an opinion in it. Now, there is a thing like, what if you like, I've been banging these 3 different guys. I don't even know which one.
But if you had to give it some standard, like, I mean, for the sake of moral, yeah, everybody ain't got morals or everybody ain't got the same morals. But for the sake of standard, what could you do to make it like inclusive for the father? So chicks won't be like, I'm going down here 9 o'clock in the morning and he don't know shit about it. And when I talk to him at noon, this shit been done for 3 hours. Like that, that guy really feels like, damn, I'm like, I know you said something, but we ain't talk about it or nothing. You just went and did it. Like, what the fuck? And now I'm supposed to be there and be like, yo, you good, you need something. But it's like, I didn't even fucking want you to do this.
Maybe, I don't know if there's anything they can do. Because again, if you say, okay, you require a signature or you require some sort of attestation from a male, attesting to him being the father and him approving, you can get anybody to do that. And then even if we go the like amniocentesis route, I don't think they do that until you're like quite far along, which then we run into the issue of
it's too late.
Yes, or just too late based on what people determine is ethically right, if you think it's right at all. So
what were some of the answers we got?
Guess what? It was 50-50.
50-50? Which I think is great, because you should have a say. I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah.
But the dad should have a say, especially if there's communication. I'm not exclude the one night stands and you banging 3 guys and don't know who you're pregnant by. You're in a different class. But for people who have a idea that I'm pregnant by this person and I want to have an abortion, or the guy wants to have an abortion and you don't, like, there's got to be some communication.
Well, okay, there's a loophole. What if the man wants you to have an abortion and as a woman you don't?
You got to talk about it. You got to have some communication, because
So
that
you, of
dynamic
course,
can
can't
still
be forced to.
that
right.
dynamic can still be the same if she wants to have an abortion and he doesn't. Like, there's still a middle ground that y'all have to come to, because y'all two people who conceived a baby, but not both of y'all want it.
Yeah, that's a difficult situation. Okay.
So I think we spoke about this before, and you know my take on it, but we can revisit it because we asked the question: should parents impose their religion on their kids? And let me get my shit off. I do not think so. I think that you should allow your child to find you should give your child a standard baseline of morals. And then you should allow your child to find himself, because to me, religion is an individualistic thing. It's something that you have to find for yourself. It's something that resonates in you, whether it be Jesus, Allah, Judaism, whatever it is that works for you, you have to find that yourself. And I think that you should be allowed to do that as an individual. It is religion. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, and again, we spoke about this on episode 78, Date Night with the D's. If you haven't seen it, you can catch up. I think that you should. I think that as a parent, if I believe that this is the way to go, this is the right way, this is the way to live life, this is the way to salvation, this is the way you should do things, I'm going to set that foundation in my child, because if I think this is right, this is what I want you to do. Like, that's like if this is my recipe for cooking macaroni and cheese, I'm going to teach my child this is how you make macaroni and cheese.
You want your child to be a doctor or a lawyer. That don't mean that that's what you want them to be, but that don't mean what they want them to be.
I'm talking about teaching them something that I know. And to me, my religion is what I know. This is what I believe is right. I don't know nothing about being a doctor or a lawyer. I can think that's a great career, but I don't know that. Now what I can teach them is how important education is, how important it is to have a successful career.
This isn't a religious show, but you believe in God and are touched by God because of one reason, because you've seen him show up in your life. Mm-hmm. So if your kid never saw that, well, don't you think he should be able to walk down the path to be able to see what you saw, like an awakening?
But he has to at least have some awareness first.
Where something happens in his life and he's like, damn, Mom, how this happened? And you can sit there and say, that's God.
No, I don't believe so, because at that age, I think you have to build that foundation for them to even be receptive of that. Because you tell a child that at 14, they like, God, like, it just leaves them open to too many questions to have to figure out on their own. Now, that's not to say as they get older.
But at that point, aren't you there for them to be like, okay, if this is something you want to learn about, I'm telling you this is God, you don't understand. Is this something you want to talk about? And I'm here for you then. But at 5, I'm making you go to church. I'm making you do this. I'm making you do that. And
well, that's not saying like church is a harsh punishment.
No, but I'm just saying I'm making you do something that you probably don't want to do. Is all I'm saying.
But that's the false assumption I think that some people have, because if you make it a part of their life where it is this is an enjoyable thing, this is a good part of our life, that, whether it's going to the mosque. I saw a girl that I used to work with, and she, her daughter's very young, and I know in Islam, they're not required to cover up early. I think she's like 6, but one day she let her go to school, and she was saying how her daughter was like so happy, and she asked could she wear it every day. Now she sees her mom, her older sisters, dressing in that manner. So for her, it's looked at as a good thing, not like, oh, punishment, like you making me have to cover up. So I think it's how you approach it with your children. Yes, like when they get to that age and they start having questions, you can possibly help, but you're not always prepared. Like I know what my faith is. And my belief in God. There's a lot of questions that you have even had. And it's like, babe, I can't answer that. Like I know what I know, but I ain't no fake Bible thumper. So I think for me the answer is yes. And I will say, I'm talking about as a young child up to 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. Now, as they get older, they may make a different decision. But as the Bible says, train a child as they should go, and they shall not direct from their path. And that doesn't mean they won't stray at some point, but they'll always have that foundation. I don't know the Quran or other religious teachings, but I'm sure there's some similarity in that. So the people, I am in the minority. 33% said yes. 67%.
Yeah, because
said no.
I respect your opinion because you have a valid elaboration behind it. So I respect it, and I kind of knew that about you. But I just feel like religion is an individualistic thing. It's a man-made, made-up thing, and that's the reason why I think you get the followers and stuff like that. Is because, and I'm talking about like a parish in church or a congregation or whatever it's called in other churches, because individually, when they call you up to the altar and they say, if you had something at the end of the service, if something in your life ain't right and you ain't gave yourself to Christ, come on up. Each individual gets up and feels like, okay, something ain't right in my life and I need to go down to the altar and get saved. That's what I think it is, an individual thing.
Right. So, but having a foundation and learning about God,
I don't know that any of those people had a foundation. I don't know.
You don't know, right. But so I'm just saying that doesn't mean that at some point, yes, you're right. They still have to make that decision when they're ready. That's one thing that I do think is I don't want to say a failure, but something that I don't agree with in Baptist churches. And I know it happened to me, my sister, at least one of my sisters. I don't know about both of them. But it happens often when, you're like 5 or 6 and they like, go ahead, baby. They encourage you to go up and to get baptized. And while it's not a bad thing, you're really not making an informed decision.
No.
I do wish that I had been able to make that decision based on and again, not that I was forced, but I was encouraged, and it was like the thing to do because you saw all your other friends
and also
doing it.
Not to cut you off, and also as a kid, you don't want to disappoint adults. So as a kid, you're impressionable, and everybody's saying, "Go ahead, baby, go ahead." Your aunts and shit, "Go ahead, baby." You don't want to disappoint the adults.
But it wasn't even about that. I wanted to do it because it was like, "Ooh, this is the thing to do." So it wasn't even like me thinking, "I don't want to do this, but I don't want to disappoint them." For some kids, it may be, but I wish that at that time in my life, when I know for sure God is real, and my faith was grounded because of just things I had gone through in my life, I wish at that point I was able to make, and I don't know if you can get baptized again.
Yes,
but
you can. You can get baptized as many times as you want. Now, I don't know. I think the first time is like
that seals you in.
Yeah. But some people do it because it's like a cleansing to them. Like, okay, I'm just going to do it again. I know it really don't mean the first, but I'm going to do it again because to me, it's a cleansing.
Yeah, so that is something that I think in the church, I wish that more children weren't encouraged to do it. But in Catholic churches, you have the people who christen babies, and
they see how that's been going. They've been dropping babies too.
Yeah,
so.
But let me ask you this. This is slightly related. Do you feel like you could have been married to a woman? I know that you wouldn't want to be married to anybody else but me, but just think open-minded. Married to a woman of a different faith than yourself. Like if a woman was like a very devout Muslim, do you think that like y'all could have?
We could coexist if you didn't try to impose it on me. Mm-hmm. So if you was a devout Muslim and I was a devout Christian, and I believed in Jesus, you believed in the law, and you prayed 5 times a day, and you didn't, like try to be every day, you should be Muslim, then yeah, we could coexist. Just like I could probably date any race, probably except for Asian. Like, I'm not of that, I have to have, like, black people should stay with black people, white people should stay with white people. Like, you find your love, you find your religion, that's just what it is.
I don't feel like I could have been with anyone else that was of a different religion, and that's not to say I know in the
before you finish that thought, I could not be with an atheist. So when you say a different religion, yeah, I could not be with somebody who flat out did not believe in God.
Okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't sit right with me.
Yeah, for me, I could never have been with a Muslim man or someone of a different faith, because
I feel like God would be mad at me.
If you were with an atheist?
Yeah, like he would be showing up in my life with signs like, what the fuck are you doing?
Maybe that would be your job, to help that person learn.
Yeah, but if they was a staunch atheist,
yeah, who wants to take on that?
Who was disrespectful about religion?
Yeah, but
not disrespectful to me, but when you brought up religion, they was disrespectful to religion. No, I couldn't talk to you.
Yeah, that is one of my deal breakers. Like, I could not have been with someone of a different religion. And again, early in our relationship, your faith wasn't as strong as it is now, but there was a window, and I knew that you did have some belief, and it strengthened over time. But yeah, I definitely could not have been with somebody of a different religious belief. Okay.
So we got that. So this is something that was not on the questions, but yeah, we talked about this before while you got your thing open. If you could live anywhere, where would it be?
Yeah, so for me, I think initially I said like on any Caribbean island, but I think it would be Jamaica. And that's only based on experience. I love Jamaica. And I'll just put this out there, right? We've already been to Jamaica 3 times.
Yeah.
And
twice to Montego Bay and
once to Negril. And I was saying to him, like, we love Jamaica. I don't want to go back to Jamaica anytime soon. And then I seen a video today. I was looking at Ocho Cinco and his family when they was in Jamaica. And I was like, maybe it won't be bad to go back. Like, I love Jamaica. And I'm sure when we go other places, like, I love Puerto Rico, but I really love Jamaica. So
you would live there?
I would say I would live in Jamaica, and y'all might say this is bougie. I would want to live up on a hill, like in the woods, kind of where I can see the ocean. Like, that would just be peace. I want to be able to walk out of my house naked in the grass and nobody be able to see me. Like, that would be peace. Some of the other responses we got: Hawaii, Aruba, Mexico, Minnesota. I know why this person said Minnesota. They are, I don't even want to say I don't even want to say diehard, because I don't even think this word describes. They
Prince
are
fans?
Yes.
Oh, come on. So they want to live in cold ass Minneapolis?
They said Minnesota. A Caribbean island. I love natural vitamin C and holistic living. Yeah. So except for Minnesota, everybody's on the same vibe. Everybody wants to be.
Holistic living is smoking Chiba. Come on with that shit, man. Holistic living. It's holistic living right here. Smoking Chiba.
But everybody wants to be someplace warm, someplace, and yeah, that was
putting on shea butter.
Yeah, every place says an island, someplace warm. So, yeah, yep. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. See y'all. Yeah, every place is an island, somewhere nice, sunny. I, too,
California will be for me. I would like to live in California. I've said that. So I would definitely like to be there. Jamaica, Puerto Rico. I could live there. And we'll visit some other places and determine whether, where I think I could live?
Where?
Like the Amalfi Coast. Did I say that right? The Amalfi Coast?
Yeah.
Seeing pictures of that, houses and cliffs and shit like that, I think I could live there.
You might be a little too brown for them, baby.
All right.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Cool.
Fuck y'all down there, Amalfi Coast. Next one. So that was it with the questions we had, right?
No, there was one more.
Oh, no, I got that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so child support from conception. Thoughts?
This is tricky because...
this is also shows you why they probably can do a paternity test from real early, because if it's child support from conception, you need a paternity test.
Well, yeah, because it's in some cases, I mean, well, yeah.
No, you need to determine who the father is if
Well,
you're going to
no.
make him pay money.
What I'm saying is some men may agree that yes, that's their baby. So that's why I say in some cases when paternity is questionable, or if the dad just wants to do it just because. So I mean it gets tricky, and you got to think to yourself, child support is to take care of the child. When you're pregnant, what extra are you providing for the child that you're not providing for yourself? So you may be eating more. You might be buying maternity clothes. Not everybody does that. You have doctor's appointments and so forth. So so I guess you got to pay co-pays. But your water,
housing.
your gas. But you already live there.
No, housing your belly, like you're giving the baby housing.
So he paying you to use your baby as an incubator? I mean, to use your body as an incubator?
Talking about what you're doing for the baby. You need to live
What are you providing for financially for the baby?
Okay.
So I mean, it's like, what exactly would the father be paying for in that case? And then, I don't want to put a dark cloud, but what if you have a miscarriage? Does he get his money back or no? Because I guess you were pregnant for those months. It just is very weird. I think not. Yeah, I don't think it's something
this is going way too far with the child support thing. I think it's way, 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 way too far. I do not think this should be a thing. Like, the baby comes out, if the dad ain't there, then child support. But baby in the belly, it's cooking. Like, give me some time to get my shit together.
Right.
So, don't just put me on the spot 2 weeks into the whole thing.
So, a few people, no, maybe, no. Somebody said, that's a tough one. I do have to prepare for the child, but not from conception. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, it's not really, and again, it's questionable because there's someone else that I follow. She just had a baby, and people were asking, she said, ask me questions, and somebody asked her about her cravings and things during pregnancy. She said she actually had an aversion to food, and she didn't like anything except for like fruits and fruits. So she said really she had to make herself eat. So you think, okay, in this scenario, it's not even like I'm buying extra food because I really don't want anything.
And some things that people love, they end up not liking after a pregnancy.
Yeah,
like
so
if you really like not chicken, something as generic as that, but like, I don't know,
pancakes.
And then you ate pancakes during your pregnancy because you like them. Might not have been a good morning, and it's like, okay, I hate fucking pancakes now. Even when the baby's out and done, you still don't like pancakes.
Or you eat something, like, I always remember my mom telling us, like, she only liked pancakes when she was pregnant. She hates syrup, but if she was pregnant, she would eat pancakes with, with syrup. But other than that, no. Yeah. So it's weird what your body does.
Okay.
Again, thank you all for participating. This was great information.
Yep.
Somebody asked the question.
What was it?
What's your favorite thing you love about your wife?
I answered it. I said her smile and her corniness.
No.
Yeah.
I wonder who asked
smile.
that.
I like when she smiles at me. That makes me feel good when she smiles at me. Especially not like grin, but like really, really tease. And she corny. She corny as hell.
Can I tell you what's making me smile today?
What?
This top pineapple, and with this whole look is like doing it for me.
Oh, what? I got on a hoodie and a pineapple.
I'm talking about your hair and your beard and all. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right.
Okay.
Where do you see you in 10 years? It's 2032. What are we doing?
2032. So I see.
You are 51.
Yep.
I am 54.
Yep. About to be 55.
What
in
are we
10
doing?
years, God willing.
Where are we at?
I think we are experienced world travelers. I think I will be in a position of running some sort of. I'm saying some sort because I know, and I just don't want to share the details yet. But running like a nonprofit organization that is really near and dear to my heart, and just really trusting myself and stepping out on faith and being able to do that.
Just get you paid though, right? like this earns a living.
No, I'm not looking to make no money from it.
Well, it has to earn a living. Yeah. If you
but
want to be those world travelers you talk about.
That doesn't mean that I won't still have my job.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just means that this will be in addition to that if I do still have to work. But you could be, you know, this great multi-million-dollar project leader within your organization that retires me.
Or I could be a giant podcaster.
Okay, you didn't let me get there yet. And I truly believe that the platform that you have created, although, and I know in my heart, your intent wasn't like to do this for fame or notoriety. Like
No.
this was, I'm speaking for you because I know you could say it all day long and people could think you're lying. Y'all could think I'm lying too, but I know like that wasn't your goal. This was more cathartic and for you. This was something that you needed for your healing on your journey. And it has served many purposes, not just for you, but for us. But I think through that there's much more in store for you. So that's where I see in 10 years, you living out your full capacity. So you may not even be the construction project leader. You may be leading the project of building your own studio.
Possibly.
Yeah.
This is a big one here. And a lot of y'all gonna have comments on this.
Woo, I'm scared.
Okay. So all y'all, let me be clear.
Need my water?
Get a drink, get a sip. Because this is a big one. Yeah, we're gonna get.
Do we need drum roll?
I gotta take a puff to this one.
Wow.
All right.
You making me nervous.
I'm gonna ask the question, then take a puff.
Okay.
All right. So let me get the question out. If you met a third cousin and had crazy sex and fell in love, and 6 months into your relationship and wild crazy sex, you found out this was your third cousin, would you stop?
I mean, at that point, why are
you love them, but you found out, say at a cookout or a family reunion, that whoa, you know, this your cousin on your auntie side, and it's like, damn, like we done bodily fluids and we done some wild crazy stuff, and I told you I love you, you told you love me.
Well,
we've been vibing like that. Now all of a sudden one Saturday we find out we cousins.
So you know your Nana's last name
used to be Pierce.
And my great-grandmother's last name
used to be Pierce.
Who knows? It's like, and this is not about us. This is, do you want to say where this question was from, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. Just...
Yeah, so, I mean, so my answer, no. What are we stopping for? Third cousins? I don't even think
you did not say this. A couple days ago, you said that's nasty, you would stop. Now today?
No, I don't think I said that.
Is it the love part?
Well, it's the 6 months. Like 6 months, you know how much you've done.
Because it's a difference from finding out in 2 weeks than finding out in 6 months.
Yes, in 2 weeks I could cut you off. We could laugh about it. Like, hopefully I ain't gave you none in 2 weeks. Sheesh. But
you have to put we have to put this question up. We have to see what the answers are to this. If you meet a guy, a girl, and y'all had like the best sex of your life, and it's 6 months into it. And you find
if you meet a guy or girl,
you find out it's your third cousin. Are you stopping?
Yeah. What about you?
No.
Can I get the question out?
No, I don't think I would stop, especially if I love them. Now, I don't know how far this is going to go. We're not going to get married, and we're not going to do. I don't.
Wow.
Well, who we inviting? The family?
Yeah, it's easy. Our family.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Just think about this though, right? If you think about, we're not going to say no names. So when we think about the breakdown of who your third cousin is, right? So think about your first cousin.
First set of cousins.
Right.
Those are usually your parents, their siblings' children.
Okay, so listen, right? So that's your first cousin. Now, when they have children and you have a child, they're second cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And then when your child and their child has a child, those are third cousins. They don't know each other.
Okay.
That's
There's still
like
DNA involved.
well, that's like your grandchild.
It's still a familial match.
I know, but I'm just saying, like.
So what happens if you get pregnant? Are you willing to take that chance? Now, it's third cousin. It's a long way from being first cousin as far as family tree and DNA, but there's still a possibility that you could fuck the baby up.
But I don't. I think the possibility is slim to none. Now, let me just
Slim to none.
I think so at third cousin. I think it's very slim to none. I mean, because nowadays you first let's say.
So
this.
what about the Underpass family, who speak in dog and bark and stuff like that? So hold on, let me finish. They have sex with their first cousins, underbellies, first cousins, second cousins, and third cousins because they all stay together.
But but you already have.
And it's not one of them. Oh well, one of them. I guess, well, she's not even right, though. The one who speaks, like, to the camera and stuff.
No, she's not right, yeah.
But even still, they're having sex with their first cousins, second cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins, and the whole tribe is messed up.
Yeah, because they're referred to as an inbred family. So even though this is your fourth cousin, like, it's too much inbreeding in it. And let me just be clear. I would never go into a situation knowing somebody. No. Right. I'm just saying. I just don't want y'all to think like
I don't think you have to preface that. I don't think you have to.
But I think under the scenario that you outline, being in this situation with somebody for 6 months, loving them, having developed a relationship, it's like, at this point, like, what are we doing? So you think about this, right? Nana's great-great-grandchildren. That's who will be messing with each other. Her great-great-grandchildren. They don't know each other.
So that would be
like Jada's children and one of your other first cousins.
No, that's not right. It's nasty.
Grandchildren.
It's still close. No, it's not.
You don't. Okay.
But if you're in love and it's 6 months, I think you're in a predicament.
Do you?
And I think y'all probably should do it for another 6 months and stop.
Do you want to be completely transparent with the people?
What?
Do you have a confession?
I used to kiss my first cousin when I was small.
He loved her, y'all.
Yeah.
He loved.
She was a
Wait, and let's
woman.
just say this: when you were small,
yeah.
How old were you?
11, 12.
That ain't small.
That's
to be
little.
kissing your
I'm
first
big
cousin.
Now. I'm little. That was little.
But that was big enough to know.
No, but I'm big now. I was little.
Nasty.
I was little.
Nasty.
What have you learned?
I ain't learned nothing. And you know what? And I'm so disappointed in myself because
you knew this was coming up.
Wait, and I thought about this last night, right? And like I always tell y'all, I don't know.
Like, damn, I ain't learned.
No, I don't know what the show is gonna be about, but we know there's certain segments. So last night, we know wows and woes and how are you, and we know he's gonna do 3 grams, even though I don't know what they are, but I know he's gonna ask me what did I learn. Last night, I thought to myself, I gotta learn something today. Or I gotta at least be prepared to say something. But I forgot today.
I didn't see if I'm gonna learn something today. I didn't learn nothing today.
I didn't learn anything.
What I learned is, you know that videos on TikTok or Instagram where you see the African dancing kids and they're doing all the Michael Jackson dances. Well, those are done by Chinese people who live there. And they're exploiting those kids. We see the nicer videos, but deeper on TikTok, these videos, these Chinese people go to these villages and take these kids, 30, 25 of them, make about 300 to 400 videos per day. And they give them chicken. And sometimes they do funny dancing videos where you see the kids dancing to Michael Jackson. Further into when you get to the 50th or the 100th video that they make them do that day, they're holding signs in Chinese that say nigger, that say in Chinese, I have a low IQ, that say in Chinese like this derogatory stuff against black people.
What?
And they claim that they're taking these kids. Sometimes they take them out of school and tell them that they're going to teach Chinese culture and all that. And they work these kids like this. And they had a secret Asian reporter go in to meet the guy in the village that was doing these videos and met up with him. And he had a secret conversation with him, and he told him he wanted to get a group of kids. And he told him, once you get these kids, be mean to them, be like a boss. Don't pay them, don't sympathize with their family, no matter what the issue is. Don't care about them. You treat them like a boss and employee, and always be strict and firm, and you never, ever, ever pay them. Like, this was said in subtitle in the video. The guy had like a recorder and like a ink pen or something,
Right.
and he was recording it, and it was like, damn, I watched these videos like crazy. I never knew that that's what they was doing. And they showed it was a black girl who lived in Beijing for 10 years, and she knew whatever that language is. I don't know what they speak.
Mandarin, Chinese.
Yeah. And she was
or
speaking to the
Taiwanese.
guy and telling him, yo, we know what you're doing with these videos. And it was like a 60 minutes thing. And like, you got to watch it on 60 minutes.
So question though, how does he profit from, like, how is this profitable?
Because the videos are on TikTok and he makes money off TikTok. So that's
How?
Because views.
Oh,
You
okay.
monetize that shit. If you get
Wow.
1 million, 2 million views on these videos, which they probably do, they're all over TikTok and Instagram of these black kids doing
Right.
these choreography
And
dances.
being so amazing.
Yeah, and that one little short black kid with the big belly, he's on all of them. Well, he has a brother that the guy, he was one of the kids that they made do like 400 videos in a day. And they took him out of school to do this. And the guy, he told the other Chinese guy, just pay him chicken. Like, it said that in the subtitle, like, just give him chicken. Like, what the fuck is that?
That's horrible. This world is just cruel. And it goes to show you just how cruel the world is. The things that we find enjoyment and laughter and think, oh, this is so nice
Right.
and wholesome. Here
Like,
we are.
look at
Not.
our people doing the dances, and look like they never had any
And
training.
we always
and they
say,
can
like,
dance
wow,
that.
yeah, how they grasp our culture. Like, it just takes the fun out
crazy.
of everything.
Those videos is it's Chinese men behind that shit exploiting those kids. And if you look deeper into it, they're holding up Chinese signs that say, I have low IQ, I'm a nigger, and shit like that. And they don't know what they're holding.
That's horrible. Sad to hear that. That was a bad thing you learned.
But I learned it, so I'm trying to give game to the people. When you're watching those videos, although they're awesome, it's almost like it's almost like a blood diamond.
Yeah, it's not awesome
Like, it's
anymore.
a nice looking diamond, but somebody's arm came off for it. 3 grams. In North Carolina, Bill 158 was just passed today. You can murder, they're saying you can murder a pregnant woman who intends to get an abortion if you're defending the life of the baby. Life starts at fertilization.
But if you murder her, then you murder the baby.
You know they can do things like save the baby and.
Yeah, but I mean that's contingent on you murdering her and getting her to the hospital in time to save the baby or calling the cops. Like, first of all,
This
how
is in
can
North
you
Carolina? They
wait,
passed in the Senate also, not just in the state, in the Senate also.
I can guarantee you that's going to be knocked down because you can't pass a law saying somebody can murder somebody and you're not, like, it's not self-defense. It, like, you can't, like, no, that's bull crap. They just got too much time on their hands. Like,
all this is coming behind this whole abortion
yeah,
thing.
I get it.
Like, shit, a whole bunch of dumb shit is unfolding in these states that it's like the wool is off your eyes now. Now everybody can see what you really want to do.
And it's sad, but it just also goes to show you.
Like, we used to vacation in the Carolinas. The Outer Banks is the shit.
But it just goes to show you how many people just don't have common sense. Like, really, like, y'all from the Hicks, these, North Carolina is North Carolina. I know not all the places are Hicks, or Sticks, but that is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. And whoever supported it, did nobody say, excuse me, the little church finger, excuse me, this makes absolutely no motherfucker sense.
Yeah.
None. Not at all.
I'll show you when we leave, but it's called Bill 158. It's in North Carolina. It was passed today with the state and the Senate that you can murder a pregnant woman who intends to get an abortion if you're defending the life of the baby. That's what they call it in quotation marks, defending the life of the baby.
That's
so
very
if you're
disturbing.
a woman who's saying, I'm destined on getting an abortion, and abortion is illegal in this state,
and let me just say
we
this.
can kill you.
Let me just say this. I have seen, and I've refrained from commenting at all when I've seen this, because one, I don't need to justify myself to anybody. I have seen so many statements saying that people who are anti-abortion really aren't pro-life, and it's saying like, oh, if you were pro-life, then you would want to help these people. And that's bullcrap, because I'm all of that. I'm all of those things. Yes, I am anti-abortion. Yes, I am pro-life, and I am pro-life by every measure. I don't believe in the death penalty. Like, I just don't think that people should have the choice of taking a life unless your life is in danger, and that's the reason that you're doing it. Again, so I say all that to say, this is one of those examples where it goes to show you you're anti-abortion, but you're going to kill a person. How does that work? I'm going to kill you to save a baby. I'm going to kill this woman who may have other children to go home and take care of, who may have other family that loves her, to kill to save an unborn baby who just might not make it. What if she's like 6 weeks? They can't save that baby.
Maybe, you know what I thought about, and then you just said that, is probably how our minds are entwined. I remember some shows ago, and we talked about this in the Bible, and we supposed to look this up, and we never did. It says that if you kill a person, then man has the right to kill you. I don't know what that means as far as the death penalty. I don't know what that means.
Stop repeating it, because we don't know that to be true. As far
as a person to want to kill a baby, and it's like, this is okay. I don't know if the state is going by that, but it does say in Genesis, in the Bible, in Scripture, it does say, and we are going to look this up even furthermore to see what the story behind it is. But it says in the Bible that if a man sheds the blood of another man, then one man should shed his blood.
Well, let me just say this. Even if, let's just say you're absolutely right, that's what the Bible says. The government, there's a separation, or supposed to be a separation, of church and state. So you can't allow the Bible or any spiritual guidance, religious guidance, to guide our laws.
We know that's not happening.
I know, but you can't.
That's going on with the Supreme Court now.
I understand that, but you can't directly use that as justification to implement this ridiculous law. And it's proof that this anti-abortion has a bigger agenda, because you can't possibly think that you are doing anything that is meaningful to society by killing a woman for making that decision. I can disagree all day long that she shouldn't be making that decision, but I damn sure don't think she should die.
Yeah,
I agree. That's ridiculous.
I agree. One of the grams was tied into one of the questions of the Unborn Child Support Act. So, child support while you're pregnant, paternity test required. We talked about that. Yeah,
that's again, you're putting babies in jeopardy, because and ladies, y'all know I ain't never been pregnant, but I have heard and I'm aware of people who have had miscarriages. And I think it's been known for years, when you get that amniocentesis test, when they put that big needle in your belly and draw off fluid, any giant injection mark like that raises the potential for infection. So that is not a safe procedure to do. I know in some circumstances they have to do it for genetic testing, but it's not required, and it's just not safe. So now, to get child support for unborn children, you're going to be testing these dads.
So hold on, let me ask you a question. They don't do this test all the time on a person. So how do they find out if your baby has Down syndrome or it's going to have birth defects?
Well, I think first,
because they tell you that when you're in your first trimester.
Right. So genetic testing is not required. They can look at like the skeletal formation of the baby and things like that to determine if there's an issue that may require further testing, or if you have certain, like if you carry the trait for sickle cell or something like that. But genetic testing is not required, and some genetic testing isn't even covered by insurance, and you have to pay for it.
Okay. Spent about 10 minutes on the last gram or whatever, but let's talk about the Sesame Place shit. That's the last gram. So there's a bunch of videos that come out about the kids being shunned by Rosita at Sesame Place, and a bunch of other ones came out after that. Big Bird shoved somebody, the purple dude knocked somebody, a little girl, over. There also, I want to say there was a video in Times Square. I think it was Times Square where the characters were there, and Elmo shunned a black kid, and the mom smacked Elmo in the head, and you could hear her saying, "Are you crazy? Are you not thinking? Hug my son." And Elmo gave him a hug, and then she walked off with the kid. So, what's just your thoughts on the? And a lawsuit has been filed. The people was reached out to be in the Sesame Place parade, and a lady fucking denied it. Said, "I don't want that shit. I want to be a part of the lawsuit." So, what's your thoughts on that?
So let me first address Times Square. Those people are regular, everyday people that are buying costumes, and if you've ever seen any of them up close and personal, they're not that clean. I wouldn't want to take a picture. I wouldn't want them to hug my child. So that is, even though they have on an Elmo or they have all kinds of costumes.
They're not the characters.
Yeah, like
they're the guy that woke up in the morning with his Elmo costume trying
and
to
they get out there every
day.
day. That's his hustle. Don't get me wrong, and I don't knock nobody for it, but I wouldn't want them to hug my child. So Sesame Place, it's unfortunate because I had this conversation, and we were discussing whether or not they should be held liable. And somebody had expressed their viewpoint to say, well, Sesame Place, why are they being held liable? They didn't know that the people that they were hiring were racist.
Well, they got to be vetted.
Well, I don't think that matters because you can still get a job and people not know you're racist. But my thing is this: it's one scenario, then that's just a one-off. You can make an apology. But when it's repeated or it shows that there's a pattern of this behavior, then that shows there's a systemic issue. And just because we see it on video or we've just seen it on video, I'm sure that they have received other complaints that we just may not be privy to that information. So in that case, y'all have to be responsible, just like Starbucks. When that situation happened at the store, it's a systemic issue. This isn't just a one-off. That one video, they gave that apology. Oh, Rosita's so heartbroken because she didn't know.
Came out.
Yeah, so obviously this isn't just a one-off. So Sesame Place does have to be held accountable, whether or not they knew or not about the people when they hired them.
But if you vet the people, like that's what I'm talking about.
How do you vet somebody to determine
liability?
If they're racist?
Well, just like they do with jobs now. You look at people's social medias, you do all that shit, and you look back on it. And if you went through a policy or procedure that your company has, then when it comes to liability, you've done your due diligence. But if you don't do these things and it becomes a systemic thing, then you can say, okay, we don't have no standard in place of vetting people before we hire them to deal with children. If that's the case, how far does it go? Do you vet people to know that they're not pedophiles? Like, so how far does the vetting
but
go?
You don't know.
I know, but I'm just saying, when you talk about
released.
liability, well, that comes down to court and that comes down to law. So when you talk about liability, you're a company. You got to have a policy in place that says we did some due diligence to say that our people are okay, whether it's get FBI background checks, check their social media. And this person, to our standard that we created, is okay to be around all the kids. Now, if that person does some fuck shit, then we handle it from there. But just to be hiring people off the street, not knowing if they pedophiles, not knowing if they, and you're around hundreds of kids every day.
You know how? Okay, there was just a story released about all of these teachers.
I saw that.
So that's what I'm saying. All pedophiles, and we know this. All pedophiles don't have a record.
I know, but don't you have to get background and FBI checks and stuff
yes,
like
but
that?
If you don't have a record, then nobody knows. If you were never arrested, nobody knows.
That's true.
And we know somebody that, and we ain't gonna say no names or give no indication of who it is. Somebody that we know and love dearly, we know is a racist. Mm-hmm. And people who are smart enough, they will never show no indication of that on their social media. Now, unless you're just one of these flat out blunt people who just post that, Black lives don't matter to me, or you know what I mean. Unless you're really outspoken in that manner, that people don't know. People know how to put on a facade. People, just like Rosita had her fake crocodile animal tears, in that apology that was issued. It goes to show that that's a bunch of crap. And let's not forget this. For those who, for any of our viewers who may not be from the Philadelphia local area, Sesame Place isn't far. The area that Sesame Place is in is very racist. Mm-hmm. So if they're hiring from within the local vicinity, I ain't surprised.
You just was fake. Like, you wanted to go on a school trip with the kids. You had to go to FBI and all that shit. That's a fucking school trip to be around the kids for a day. But so what I'm saying is, if you taking a job to be fucking Big Bird, you should be vetted. And I understand if you don't have a record, but that's where they should talk to fucking people. Talk to your parents. Talk to your neighbors. Fucking look at your social media. Do all the shit that is being required today of people, because you know they hide stuff and people be with guns on social. So you got to look at shit like that before you say you're allowed to be around 1,000 kids every day and walk up and hug them and touch them and shit.
I mean,
there should be something. I would think Sesame Place would have to have something in place for vetting purposes.
I am 99% sure that they do have, but you got to think about this. Being a racist is not going to be on your criminal record. And again, not everybody displays that behavior or that mindset on social media. So vetting for that, I don't think you can.
But I think most races have some hint of something on their social media which they think is personal, which they want to post shit and have their 15 minutes of fame.
Not if they have.
I don't think every racist is. I don't think every racist is undercover, or otherwise we wouldn't see it.
They may not be. They may not be undercover, but in their personal lives, in their real life, off of the computer, they may be blatant.
I think,
but
you went on anybody of these racist people on their social medias back years, you're going to see a picture with a flag. You're going to see.
And let me also say
you're going to see something in their social media that you're going to look at and be like, this is inappropriate.
But again, you got to think: is it blatant or is it subjective? Because you can't use subjectivity in order to determine that somebody is or isn't. Because they can say that's just your perception. That's not how I meant it. And also, let's also acknowledge that while, yes, there are some organizations, and there's been warnings about kids who are applying for colleges and things like that. And this new generation, because there are jobs that are checking social media. That costs money. Not all jobs are doing that. Like, really not all. No, the background check. The background check. I would say I am 99.9% sure that any employee there has to do that, because I think that's required to be around children. Yeah, but again, if you don't have any criminal background, you could have unfortunately been doing something to children all your life and never been in trouble.
There's got to be some type of vetting. We had a neighbor where we lived in our old neighborhood who wanted to become a state trooper, and one day we outside, I'm smoking weed on the porch, and these detectives just pull up.
Oh my God.
Walk up on us and was like, I'm like putting the weed away. Like, this is when weed was not legal.
Act 2.
Yeah, pre-Act 2. So I'm still in trouble, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they walk up to the porch, and
I'm telling him, get in the house.
Yeah,
get in the house.
And they like, this guy down the street, like, and they said our neighbor's name, and was like, he trying to be a state trooper. Is he okay? Like, they talking to neighbors, trying to see, is this guy crazy? Is this guy? What's
I saw him,
he do?
He just walk his dog. He nice.
And he jog. Like, that's all he do is fucking jog. He getting in training for y'all. But it was crazy to see, like, okay, that's some type of standard they having for vetting purpose, because they about to give this guy a gun.
I thought it was about to go down that day.
But it didn't. And,
Thank
God is
we're
good.
here.
And we're on 2 years on the other side of that. So, or almost. That's Act 2. Do a rap. That's it. Act 2 the podcast, episode 80. Your boy International Walk.
Your girl Tosh. Ain't this what the kids do?
I don't know what the kids do. Act2thepodcast.com. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, TikTok, Breaker, Spotify, Twitter.
There's 80 episodes, babe. You doing your big one.
Yeah. Y'all can catch us on all those platforms. Act 2 the podcast, episode 80. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't by now, God damn it, you should. Peace.